tasteful, if that's the right word. People can even associate tasteful with skulls and bones. I mean, it was just like a shrine kind of thing. It wasn't overly, I don't know.
And there wasn't a feeling there either. I didn't get anything.
It felt more like a shrine to Buddha and to Hindu gods, and more of a religious place, really.
It's just hard to get your head around the amount of people. You say 10,000 people died there.
Yeah.
And they were just
Pushed off the cliff just to save the bullet.
Their arms tied.
Their lives weren't even worth a bullet. So we're on our way back to Monologue. It's dusty as hell because the road's covered in dirt. And the traffic just keeps coming. Viet Cong. So we talked to lots of Cambodians, and if you ask them what they think of the political situation with the Khmer Rouge, and even today, they feel that the Vietnamese and the Chinese are exploiting them, and that much of their woes and their poverty is a direct result of Vietnamese and Chinese policy towards them, exploitation.
Didn't they think that they were the silent people behind the Khmer Rouge?
Yeah, most of the ones, well, all of the ones we spoke to feel that the Khmer Rouge is just a front. Pol Pot was just a pawn of the Viet Cong trying to impose communism in Cambodia, and the current Prime Minister Heng Sen, who's been the Prime Minister for over 40 years and shows no signs of actually leaving office because he rigs the elections, and now he's said that his son will be the next Prime Minister. So how's that for a dynasty? You know, he's basically, there is a king, but it sounds like the Prime Minister is more like a king. And the feeling there is that the Vietnamese are pulling the strings in the background to support their Prime Minister. He gives them these sweet deals. Who knows what kind of payment.
He's become very unpopular since he made the declaration that he's staying in power until he's 99, right?
Yeah, he'll stay in power until he's 99.
The wind's changed at that point. But Lao, they say Lao is fine.
Yeah, they don't seem to have any animosity towards Laos, but a little bit towards Thailand, but a lot towards Vietnam, who say, well, it's weird because if the Viet Cong were behind the Khmer regime, then, but it was Vietnamese that came and crushed the Khmer Rouge.
Yeah, that's
so the logic is not obvious.
No.
Maybe when they, no, it isn't. It doesn't. It's actually very hard to understand the logic there. It sounds flawed because if it was indeed the Viet Cong who were committing the atrocities, why would they then liberate them from the Khmer Rouge? Although it was the Vietnamese army that liberated them, not the Viet Cong. So perhaps there was some. It's easy to see. It makes sense. It makes sense that the Viet Cong that had been using Cambodia as a route to attack American troops for so long. It makes sense that they were already in Cambodia, and it would be easy for them to, you know, rise up and maybe take control. I can see that. That makes sense.
They said that the Vietnamese had asked to borrow land.
Yes.
From something like
for 5 years.
5 years, and then when the 5 years were up, they said, "Oh."
They said we're staying for another 5 years.
5 years.
So this. Also, they say that the Vietnamese took the Mekong Delta from Cambodia, as well as other areas, but significantly the Mekong Delta that Cambodia would like to have back. There's many Cambodians living in the Mekong Delta. So everybody has, you know, if you talk to Vietnamese people about this, I'm sure they have a different perspective. We don't know what's true. We're just telling you what the Cambodians that we've talked to have said, you know,
Unfortunately, there's a lot of misinformation out there that we Googled. For example, we were told that the Vietnamese own Angkor Wat.
yeah, they
And
control
they're-
Angkor Wat.
They control it, they're making all the money from it. And they're not. It's a company that controls the ticket sales, but Angkor Wat
Is Vietnamese.
is owned by Cambodia.
Cambodians. But then, and we asked the tuk-tuk driver that, he said, okay, sure, but there's no transparency, and that's the problem. So the money goes to a Vietnamese company that manages Angkor, yeah. The money goes to a Vietnamese company.
No, they take only a small amount.
The money goes to a Vietnamese company that, oh, it's dusty. Money goes to, from ticket sales, goes to a Vietnamese company that administers the tickets. They take, I don't know, let's say 10% for their administration charges, and then they give the money out to various NGOs like schools and what have you. The Cambodians say that's fine, but there's no transparency. We don't know how much money they're taking in ticket sales, and we don't know how much they're giving out. So again, it's sort of like there's a deep mistrust of Vietnamese. I think that's the bottom line. That's all you really know. I mean, who knows what the truth is? It's generally in the middle. But there's a deep mistrust of Vietnamese people in Cambodia, well, wherever we've been. And also, I think the Chinese are considered to be exploiting the country. Well, stealing, yeah. Stealing artifacts, etc. You know, but it was the same when we were... Well, they've got the rights to a mountain that's full of gold. Presumably they pay licensing. They would say they're paying a license for that, I'm sure, right? You know, the Cambodians are not going to mine it themselves. But it's like anywhere, isn't it? You know, when poor people see other countries, corporations getting rich, and their life is not getting any easier, or just the contrary, really. Price of rice is really low. You know, they can't afford to live, and they feel they're being exploited, and well, you know, they probably are getting exploited.
Except the owner of Mohammed Log reckons he's going to be a millionaire in a couple of years by growing rice.
Well, I guess if you're smart about it, you can make good money growing rice, but I don't know. We hear a lot of stories. It's nice that people are open to talk to us, but you know, it's probably very one-sided, is all I'm saying. Not suggesting as untruths, because it's commonly held beliefs, but
It's amazing that they'll talk to us.
yeah, it
A
is.
lot of people have been killed here for
talking out.
anti-government,
Yeah,
you know, opinion.
Yeah.
You cannot express yourself here politically.
no, there's no freedom of speech here.
But we have had a lot of people talk to us.
Yeah. But I think you have to take everything with a pinch of salt, and if you're interested, you have to do the research and try to find out, right? You know, if you can, if there is any, if there's no transparency, then all you have, and that's the trouble. If there's no transparency, then all you have is hearsay, and people are going to believe what they believe. Well, probably because they're hungry and they're bitter. They don't trust their government.
Well, they said it's a common misperception between tuk-tuk drivers about Angkor Wat by the Vietnamese. Apparently, all taxi drivers and tuk-tuk drivers.
Yeah, they must talk together.
So,
Maybe there's a online forum for tuk-tuk drivers. I don't know.
I did send our tuk-tuk driver a link because I think I was on a no. But you're not going to change everything, right?
Well, I think you're in a country that's not, it's not an open and free democracy.
No freedom
And there's
of speech.
always going to be some issues, right, when you have that. It's kind of sad. And the people are very poor. But they're also very lovely, very friendly and warm. It's been really heartwarming, actually. A lot like Nepal in that respect, I think. for us.
So goodbye Battambang. Hello.
Yeah.
Wrong Salam.
Goodbye Battambang. Big 11, no, 9 to 10 hour trip tomorrow in a SUV. Probably on this road. Hopefully it won't take 9 to 10 hours.
No, because we have to make the ferry, otherwise we're SOL.
If we don't make the ferry, have we got 11 hours to get there?
We've got, yeah, we get about 3:30, but the last ferry's 5:30.
Yeah.
If it takes the whole 11 hours, then we're SOL.
Yeah, we're hoping to make the ferry, the last ferry to the island. Otherwise we have to stay in Sihanoukville.
Yeah. 5:30 is 11 hours.
By all
So
accounts,
puts it down.
Sihanoukville's not a good place to be anymore.
No, it's not.
It's all built up. The Chinese basically bought it for a resort.
High-rise buildings.
Yeah,
Treating the Cambodians
really badly, yeah. Again, hearsay, just what we've heard, not what we've experienced, so.
Yeah, we've heard that from people who aren't Camo.
Yeah, I mean, it's like anything, we're just relating our experience. I'm not going to endorse anything, we just can only tell you what people there say, and it is by far the majority. I mean, we haven't talked to anybody who's not had these opinions. So that speaks volumes, I think. Alright. Okay, we're signing off.